And we are live, people. Welcome back to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, for the critical thinkers. We say what we see, not just how we feel, people. We try to be objective as possible. It's impossible to be objective. It is. But we try to be people. There is a connection issue. So apologize, guys, if you guys are seeing blurry images and all of these things. There's nothing I can do about it right now. There's just some small issues with the connection. But we are here, people. We are here. We are here after the Arsenal Manchester United game. We lost yesterday 1-0, and there has been a lot of fallout from that game. So there is a lot for us to talk about. We can take this session wherever you want to go. Do you want to talk about the game? Do you want to talk about the goalkeeping situation, the midfield situation? Where do you think we are going to go? Who do you think we're going to sign before the end of the window? Do you think we've improved or not? How well do you think we played against Arsenal yesterday? As usual, guys, just get your comments in the chat. Let's start having a conversation. Big up British Bulldog already in the chat. Big up yourself, bro, and big up everybody who is new, who's about to watch for the first time. Smash the like on entry. As usual, it's a new channel, so all interactions, every little bit of interaction helps this channel, people. There's a lot for us to get through in terms of transfer updates. Just listen. The season has started, but the transfer window continues, people, and we have updates for you. We're going to talk about the fallout from AMORIM's post-match press conference. We have quotes about the goalkeeper situation as well. We also have the Garnacho and Chelsea situation. We have updates on that. We have updates on Napoli and Højlund. Apparently, Napoli want Højlund, people, so we're going to talk about that in today's show. Sancho, the forever story of Sancho, this story that won't end, and it seems like it's not going to be a good, positive ending for Manchester United fans. It seems, people, like Jadon Sancho might end up staying at Manchester United and just running down the final year of his contract. That seems like it is a possibility because he apparently is rejecting Roma. So that's Sancho news as well. We have more Baleba updates. Not really. Maybe. Ornstein was asked by Manchester United fans after the game about Baleba, and he is given a concrete response about Carlos Baleba. And also, guys, we have news. Apparently, Inter are interested in Andre Onana. So that is news coming out right now. So there's a lot for us to just quickly get through all of the transfer updates before we can talk about the game yesterday and the fallout from the game. Listen, after a good night's sleep, I've been able to think and not be emotional, not be reactionary. Like I say what you see, not just how you feel. And the more I think about it, I've rewatched the game against Arsenal. I've literally just recorded and finished filming my tactical analysis of the game, which will be up on the channel in about a couple hours time tonight. And after watching the game again, I thought to myself, hold on a second. We played better than Arsenal. We had 62% possession. We actually dominated the midfield, and it's quite funny because that midfield area where everybody was very, let's say, conscious that Arsenal will overpower us, Arsenal would dominate us because they have a three-man midfield. They keep the ball very well. And we have a lot of negative things to say about our two-man midfield. But how the manager set up, especially with the front three that were interchanging, especially playing number 10s as part of the front three, number 10s who are comfortable with dropping deep and helping the midfield out, we essentially overloaded that area of the park. So my tactical analysis tonight talks about how we overloaded the midfield, how we are playing more through the midfield. So yes, having a fluid front three system enabled us to drop deep, link the play, overload that area. However, there's also the flip side, and the flip side is there's no focal point. There's no focal point. There's no striker. So yes, overload the central area, dominate the central area. But when it comes to attacking, when it comes to counter-attacking, we didn't have that player in the middle of the field that occupied the defenders, that stretched the team, that stretched the defensive line. We didn't have that. So this formation, the formation that we played, the 3-man interchangeable front three, benefited us in some ways, but it also didn't benefit us in other ways. And that's systems. That's the systems for you. Systems will hide most of your deficiencies. That's what systems are supposed to do. Hide the majority of your deficiencies and make you play better. But every system has a weakness. Every system. So we actually played well against Arsenal objectively. We didn't play like Man City play. It wasn't some, flawless, beautiful, amazing football. No. But relatively speaking, based on how we played last year, I think there has been an improvement. There's been an improvement. Some of us in the chat thought we were going to lose 4-1, 3-1. We ended up losing by a goalkeeper mistake. Not because Arsenal were better than us. So there are positives to take from the game. And like I said, my tactical analysis will break it down and the video will be out hopefully in a few hours. But let's breeze through, people, what the news is saying today. Any transfer news that's worthy of your attention, I will just let you guys know. We'll just run through it as quickly as we can before we just go into talking about yesterday's game. Hope Eddie's good. Eddie in the chat. Painful loss. British Bulldog in the chat as well. Big up you guys. TK, good night. Good day, everybody. Big up Ranjit. Do you think starting Sesko would have got us the win? Difficult to say, Ranjit. But we'll talk more about it as well later on. Big up TK. Yeah, what's Eddie saying? Is YouTube having connected? Yeah, Eddie, YouTube is acting a fool today. So apologies if you can hear me but can't see me. You can see me but can't hear me. I apologize, guys. I do, but yeah, YouTube is acting a fool today. Eddie said, thought it was just me. Shivam said, I think we should just try Mount in central midfield. What do you think by the time we get Lemens and Walton or someone cheap, says Shivam. Shivam, there's also conversations now that we're not going to get a goalkeeper. That is now the talk of the town. So you guys let me know. I think we definitely need a goalkeeper for sure. I think we should try Mount and CM. I read that already. Cool. All right. Twisted Fate in the chat. Big up Twisted Fate. Won't say we deserved a win, but we 100% deserved a draw. I agree, Twisted Fate. 100% with you, bro. It's unfortunate, but we move to the next. Yeah, that's how I really want us to look at it, guys. I kind of want us to be more positive. Now that we've slept on it and we've had a chance to actually think about what we saw objectively, I just hope that we can look at it more positively than negatively. We didn't win the game. We lost at Old Trafford. That's a fact. But hopefully we can contextualize it a bit more now. We played well, but AMORIM put us behind with 8 ball with the initial lineup. Yep. He does this all the time. Fall behind and try in the second half. Tired of it. Yeah, in my tactical analysis, guys, I do speak about playing wingers or playing attacking players at wing back rather than defensive players. I do speak about you playing defensive players at wing back means you're starting the team with 7 defenders out of a possible 11. That's crazy. 7 defensive players in your team out of 11. That's what we did against Arsenal. So I don't agree with that. I think, and once again, my tactical analysis will break it down. It will be out soon. But I think playing Ahmad as a wing back wouldn't have detracted defensively. I think Ahmad can press really well. He's quick. He's hungry. He gets back. he does his defensive duties, and Arsenal weren't that good attacking wise. So I believe playing Ahmad wouldn't have taken away from us defensively, but would have added to us attacking wise, giving us more options and opportunities to score. So I hope, as one of my complaints, that the manager plays his system more offensively. He has to. Otherwise, we will fail to score. Scoring is not just an individual problem. You cannot just buy Mbumo, buy Cunha, drop them in your Bumba Clark team, yeah, and say, we're going to score goals. Scoring is a structural problem as well as an individual problem. Structurally, we're not scoring goals. Or should I say, we're not scoring goals because we're not right structurally. And I've broken it down in my tactical analysis as well. So anyway, guys, let's run through all the stuff. Let's run through the news for you lot so you guys know what's going on. And after we run through the news, we are also going to unbox. I've got my shirt. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I got my shirt. I got my shirt. Da-na-na. 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 Bro, I got my shirt, man. So we go unbox that shirt, baby. I'm in a good mood, man. Let's be positive today. We lost the game, but the only team... Listen, look around the fan base. United fans aren't angry today. We lost against Arsenal in an opening game of the season, and the fan base aren't mad. No one is saying AMORIM out. But not yet anyway. So, positivity. Anyway, people, let's just get back to it. So, I hope you guys have seen AMORIM's post-match press conference. It's really, really interesting if you guys haven't seen it already. He was triggered a little bit. He was asked a question. I don't know. Are we going to play this? Can we play this? Can we play it? All right, let's play it.
Why? I think, Ruben, did you give any consideration to starting Tom Heaton at outside? Because he's conceded a goal similar to that before. Why?
I like that. Do you know what it is, yeah? I don't want my manager to be bullied by these people. So the fact that his brow's screwed up, the fact that he's already defensive, for some reason I like that, because last season he was pushed around too much by the media. He was answering questions a bit too honestly. He was being a bit too open, being a bit too naive, a bit too emotionally immature. He needs to hold in his emotion and not let his emotion spill out. Well, you can argue, he's actually letting it out now. But the point I'm trying to make here is that his initial response is, you're chatting crap. What are you talking about? And I like that. If someone's asking you a question and it's out of context and you're asking the wrong question, as a manager, it's your job to reject the premise of the question. If you don't accept the premise of the damn question, reject the premise of the question and restructure the question in a way that you agree with. That is your job. Your job is to not allow them to paint the narrative and create the narrative. You steer the narrative. I like this, people. I like this. Play on. Let's go.
I think a lot of people might argue that Tom's a better keeper than him, with more experience in the Premier League.
But he suffered a goal like this where? Without VAR. Without VAR. With VAR, with VAR is a foul. And then what happened in the next game? What happened in the next game? No, not at Wolves. The next one, Arsenal. Who saved the penalty? Who saved the game? All the game.
Binder.
No. Before the penalty. You don't remember the game. I remember the game. I'll tell you what.
So, I like this because he needs to protect his players. We, as fans, can throw, and I say this, we need to be careful when we throw stones. We can throw stones and talk about how bad our players is and destroy the players' confidence and do what we need to do. The players can see what we're saying. They can hear what we're saying, and it will affect them. His job as a manager is to protect them, is to shield them. He's basically saying, listen, at the end of the day, Binder is saving penalties. Binder was good in certain matches, and it was also bad. He's painting a full picture. And allow me to also paint a full picture of that match. Listen, I'm not saying we should keep buying their people. I'm not saying he's the best goalkeeper in the world. We all know that we need a better goalkeeper. I think we can all agree on that. We can disagree on many other things, but we all agree that we need another goalkeeper. Bayern played well yesterday. That's the funny thing. You know, when there's 90-minute performances and then someone makes a mistake, and unfortunately, as a goalkeeper, when you do make a mistake, you sometimes concede a goal because that's the nature of the job that you're in. Bayern's kicking and some of his distribution today, especially to the midfield, especially to our number 10s, Cunha and Mbuma, was really, really good. In fact, in terms of distribution and beating Arsenal's press, that was some of the best that we've seen in Amorim's time here. We were regularly beating Arsenal's press, regularly, and he was going directly to Mbuma and Cunha often. Some of the times he was going direct, I was getting nervous, guys. I was like, oh my God, what's Bayern doing? But then I was like, oh, that's a good pass Bayern. He actually had a decent game, apart from that massive mistake he made. And then you can argue, people, was it a penalty? You guys let me know in the comments. Was it a penalty? Sorry, not a penalty. Was it a free kick on a goalkeeper? Because I said in the stream, on my watch along, guys, and you guys were there. Back in the day, whenever you were doing anything like this, whenever your arm was raised like this towards a goalkeeper, right? That would be a foul on the goalkeeper. That is what Saliba was doing to our goalkeeper. He was doing this. The goalkeeper flapped at it. Should have been stronger. Still should have been stronger. Still should have pushed him out of the way. But usually that's a foul on a goalkeeper. It wasn't given. It wasn't given. So I'm not saying he was good. I'm not saying he's a great goalkeeper. I'm saying in the game that we saw today, he had a decent game apart from the mistake that he made. Unfortunately, the mistake he made led to the goal. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying.
Was
Let's quickly
unbelievable in that game. So I consider everything to put one on another, and I choose Altay.
Yeah, Robert.
There you go. And also, there's a lot of talk about Onana not being, selected. I think he also clarified that he hasn't played any competitive games. He hasn't. And that's why Onana's not being selected. Sesko hasn't played any competitive games. That's why Sesko wasn't in the team. So he's been very consistent in picking players that have been playing in pre-season. And that fluid number 10 system that we saw that in 2 games. He played that in 2 games. And that's why I said in the pre-match build-up, don't be surprised if he plays that same fluid 10 system. Let's see what the chat is saying. I think we should try him out. Yeah, I fed that. We played well, but Eddie, we need to win next game. 5-game winning prediction ended 30. BB's 5-game winning prediction ended 30 minutes into the game. Twisted Fate said, I think Amorim did that because he knows Gyökeres well and knows how to shut him out the game. Maybe that is... Yeah, I think the way that we set up, especially with Dalot, he was very, very cautious. He was scared of Arsenal's attacking threat. It's just that attacking threat that he was scared of didn't materialize. So in my tactical analysis, which will be up in an hour, I talk about the fact that playing Ahmad as a right wing back wouldn't have taken away from us defensively, in my opinion. Ahmad needs to start crossing. Maybe that's the reason why we go with Dalot. He can cross well and be better in defence. Ahmad got greedy, yes, today. That is true, Shivam. I think Ahmad will need to cross the ball more. However, we didn't have a striker to cross to. And that's also in part of my analysis. When Dalot got in the positions to cross the ball, there was nobody to cross to because Cunha and Mbeumo and Mason Mount are not natural strikers. They're not going to occupy the spaces. They don't know how to attack the ball. That's not their game. I saw this. The journal was an idiot and Amorim dealt with it perfectly. Yeah. I like the way Amorim needs to be more like that now. He needs to be Man United against the world. You know when it's Man United against the world? Yeah, that's what we need to build up. Everybody hates us, bro. Everybody hates Manchester United. They want us all to fail. So we need that siege mentality. If he can get that siege mentality and have the fan base defend the players as well, That's it, guys. You got something. Eddie says, can't wait for the next game. But like you said, Wiz, we need to work on the structure where we can create proper chances. The media circus needs to stop, and AMORIM is going to do well in that respect. Last year, he was immature, much better. Yeah, I agree with Eddie and Shivam on that one. He's passionate, says Eddie. We need 2 goalkeepers. British Bulldog, I won't disagree with that, bro. I won't at all. Prefer him to Onana, says Ranjit. Twisted Fate says the thing is, though, Bayende sure needed to be stronger there, but I also take into account he was being backed into. And yet, Twisted Fate, I said the same thing. I said, when has that become, not a foul on the goalkeeper? At what point did that become acceptable? You know, psychology is so important, that everyone knows we have bad goalkeepers. And because everyone knows we have bad goalkeepers, doesn't mean the referees also will allow certain things on our goalkeepers, because psychologically they're going to think that the goalkeeper's made a mistake and nothing's happened here. Nothing bad's happened here because Man United goalkeepers are rubbish. So that must be a mistake by the goalkeeper. So I'm not going to blow my whistle. Bro, psychology is important. It's important, That's why Fergie and other managers let it out before the match starts, that certain team gets favoured penalty decisions. The reason why you have your Thursday press conference, right, and you say things like, Man United always get favourable penalty decisions, is because you want the referee to hear it, and then psychologically, the referee in the game is about to blow his whistle, and then in his back of his head, he's thinking, oh shit, Man United get all the penalty decisions. Maybe I shouldn't blow my whistle and then be that referee who continues giving Man United all these fake penalties. Listen, psychology is important, bro, in football. It's good to get certain things out there to influence people's decisions. So who knows? It was definitely a foul. Better next time, we should start pushing again. Yeah, I think it's a learning thing. Like, Bayern is not good enough. But now we know what these guys are on and what these guys are going to be on this season. This is not going to be the first and only time. This will keep happening this season. They're gonna manhandle our goalkeepers when it comes to set pieces. They're gonna do that. So we now need to clock on, understand what they're going to do, and adapt. We have to. Yeah. And plus, one thing also I want to say, guys, we're not going to play Arsenal every week. Arsenal apparently have the best defense in the league. We're not going to play these players every game. So that's also something. These guys are giants. Have you seen Arsenal's back four? Have you seen Arsenal's team? They're a team of giants. And the only opportunity that we gave to them yesterday was a mistake by a goalkeeper at a corner. That was it in 90 minutes. That's all we gave to them. So, all right, people, let's go through any of the transfer news that have happened this today. Not really transfer news, but because AMORIM in his press conference has said that he's happy with his goalkeepers, a lot of the journalists now are taking that press conference and now are saying that Man United will not sign a goalkeeper. Let me be very clear to you. Man United are in for another goalkeeper. I'm not going to promise that they're going to sign one, but they are heavily looking at one. Anyone who's saying Man United are not going to sign a goalkeeper are literally taking AMORIM's quotes, who says he's happy, and he has to say he's happy. There is no manager in the world that will come out and say, these goalkeepers that I have are shit. Get rid of them. He will never say that. And you guys know it. So why the journalists now are taking that quote from that interview and now extrapolating certain things and putting 1 and 1, which we know equals 2, but to them it equals 7. That's what's happened. I think we're still in for another goalkeeper. I won't listen to the news until I hear from Fabrizio or someone official that we're officially not going for a goalkeeper. I'm not going to focus on that kind of stuff. So I think we can move on from United not signing a goalkeeper. I think Lemens is still a goalkeeper that we're looking at very heavily. Let's go. Move on. So as you guys can see on screen, this Garnacho situation is, I don't understand why it's taking so long, but at the same time I do. Chelsea's tactic has always been, and most of the players that we still are yet to sell, the tactic is to wait till the very end of the window and get them on the cheap. I think we could all understand that's most of the clubs who are pursuing our players. That's how they're going to do it. That's what they want to do. Whether that's going to happen, whether they're going to achieve their goal, we don't know. United seem to be very strong on their stance. And as we can see from this story, it looks like we are still waiting on that Chelsea bid. We've been hearing about this Chelsea bid all last week. It didn't come in. The league has started. Chelsea drew. Funny enough, Chelsea drew. So 2 weeks left, guys. 2 weeks left. I don't think we're going to budge. I think if Chelsea come in with £30 million, we will reject it. I honestly think so. But
It's a picture of Old Trafford's been defaced.
yeah, this article goes on to talk about a picture of Garnacho next to Old Trafford has been defaced. It goes on to talk about the deteriorating relationship Garnacho has with Manchester United, which is it's done. It's fully severed. So I'm still expecting this deal to happen, for this to go through. And you know what? I'm still also hoping for a midfielder. If we do get the money in for Garnacho and some others, I wouldn't be surprised if last minute we do go in for another midfielder. But I also want to be clear, guys, when we do talk about the midfield, maybe later on in this session, yes, we need to upgrade on the midfield, but the midfield wasn't the reason why we lost against Arsenal. It wasn't. And in fact, after the opening 10 minutes, let's say, Casemiro kind of grew into the game, and Casemiro wasn't actually that bad. And we saw what happened when we took off Casemiro and we brought on Ugarte. We all saw what happened, guys. Yeah. Anyway, as you guys can see on screen, Alejandro Garnacho is not included in Argentina's team for the upcoming South American qualifiers. This is what we thought was going to happen. And in fact, I think Man United fans and the Man United hierarchy included hope this would happen. We kind of want this to happen to force him out. We want Garnacho to understand that if he doesn't play football, he will not be going to the World Cup. So you need to find a team ASAP. You can go to Chelsea, that is fine, but there's no guarantee Chelsea will play you game in, week in, week out. There's no guarantee, which means there's still no guarantee you'll get into the Argentina squad. We need this to happen. We need this to happen to trigger these players to leave. We do. So very, very interesting. He's not in the Argentina squad. I hope that does something to him. I hope it does. I hope it, does that metaphorical kick up the butt, get out, find yourself a club, go to Europe. You don't need to wait for just Chelsea. There are many, many clubs you can play for. So that's what I say about Garnacho. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Garnacho situation. Let me quickly read your comments. TK says, we already 3 unsurmountable points behind City, Liverpool, Arsenal. I will look forward to seeing your attitudes if we lose next week at Craven Cottage. The average United fan is way too confident. Yeah, I hear you. That's true. Confident might not be the best word I would use for myself. But maybe you're right. Maybe we're way too confident. Maybe we're not seeing the issues that you have seen, TK. Also, I think a lot of United fans are not looking at City, Liverpool and Arsenal as rivals. I think a lot of United fans are just looking at the other teams around them and wanting to be better than them. And if Arsenal are the second best team in the league and we've outplayed them at Old Trafford, then what does that mean? What does that mean? How would you interpret that? How do you objectively analyze that? Eddie says, do you think Bayindir might be our first choice going forward? That's a good question, Eddie. A lot of people now are taken from the start of the season, from the interview, that Bayindir will be our first choice goalkeeper. That's the question I have for the chat as well. I know Eddie's asked me, but what do you guys think? What's going to happen going forward this season if we do not get another goalkeeper? Is Bayindir first choice? Personally, I wouldn't say so. The manager's consistent. He's been consistent. If you haven't played a competitive game, he hasn't seen you in pre-season, you're not going to start. We haven't seen Onana. He's been injured. Zexy's been injured. And Sesko has only just come. Those players weren't involved. So unless, I think I'm going to have to wait and see. If the next game, after another week of games, Onana's not even in the squad, after another week of training and he's not in the squad, then I'll have more data. I'll have a bigger sample size to work from, and then I can make my judgment. And then I'll say, yes, he looks like he's going Bayindir because he's tired of Onana. Until 2 or 3 games are under our belt and we get a bigger sample size, I don't know. I literally don't know, Eddie. Is it that big a gap between the two? Does it matter? Goes with Onana, he makes mistakes. Goes with Bayindir, he makes mistakes. Rock in a hard place? Is that the phrase? Rock in a hard place? Am I choosing between poo and shit? I don't know. Both are brown and smelly. Poo and shit. I don't know. By the way, I'm not calling the players, poo and shit. That's not nice. Big up Wendell in the chat. Wendell self, Ralph Ragnick says it's not cosmetic. We need open heart surgery. We need midfielders and goalkeepers. I agree, Wendell. Big up Wendell in the chat. Wendell reminding us that Ralph diagnosed United years ago. Yep, Turkish. It's an offence to unfairly impede the goalkeeper's movement or ability to play the ball, especially when the goalkeeper has gained clear control. Twisted fate. So, yeah, these guys are changing up the rules. Once you form a narrative, once the narrative is out there that we have really rubbish goalkeepers and the referees know, and the referees are the ones judging the game, and they're unconsciously knowing that we have shit goalkeepers. Like I said, it's not beyond the understanding that as a referee, you're going to see something that you might blow for if it was Alisson. If it was Alisson, you might blow for it because Alisson doesn't usually let in those type of goals. So if he does let in that type of goal, it's probably going to be a foul. So you're going to blow. Whereas Man United goalkeepers are shit and they let in goals from corners at least 3 times last season. So when you see it, you're going to be like, yeah, it's Man United. It's, psychology is so important, bro. It's so important. Even the Pope knows he's not happy with the goalkeepers. We will suffer the consequences if we continue with Pennywise and the Night King. Wendell, man. Oh, man. Pennywise and the Night King, flipping heck. Which one's which? Which one's which, Wendell? Hey, Santos. Big up Santos in the chat. Santos Flow. I'm from the time when if you touch the goalkeeper in the keeper's area, that will be a foul. Now you can manhandle. Bro, you guys are saying the exact same thing I'm saying. I said this on stream, my watch along. I said, I grew up watching football where if you even blow the goalkeeper, if you just touch the goalkeeper, if you just touch the hem of his shorts, it's a free kick. You can't touch this motherfucker. And now you can flip and get a man in headlocks. You can elbow man in his flipping ribs. You can do all sorts and the referee won't blow his whistle. Maybe I'm defending my goalkeeper a bit too much. But this season might be a season where I'm not... Listen, my goalkeepers are going to make mistakes. But I'm going to try to do the block thing. I don't want no onslaught, on my goalkeepers. I want to be like the manager and be like, protect these motherfuckers. Especially Onana. Onana, mentally, he's fragile. Onana's the kind of guy who'll make one mistake, early on, and the rest of the game, he'll be shit. Because up here, Onana, he doesn't have the confidence. Onana, outwardly, looks like he's a very confident goalkeeper. Outwardly, he's like, yeah, whatever. But as soon as he makes one mistake, you can see, man, he crumbles, bro. He crumbles. He crumbles. He's got, I won't say Stockholm syndrome is the right term, is the wrong term to use. He's got more of that imposter syndrome. He's like, I'm happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here. But he doesn't actually, I don't think Onana actually believes he should be here. I don't think when he's talking all confidently and whatnot, I don't actually, I don't believe it. That's just me. That's just me. Santos Flow said, let Nacho rot in the under 21s. Would you guys actually do that? Would you guys let Garnacho rot in the reserves? Is that an option for Manchester United? Yep. Santos said Betis is also stalling on Anthony. Eddie says the thing is Ugarte was poor, but we didn't lose because of him. Correct, Eddie. Correct. We didn't lose because of Ugarte, even though he was poor. We didn't lose because Ahmad wasn't on the field, even though I would have made that choice. We didn't lose because we started with Casemiro and Bruno. We didn't lose solely because we started with 3 10s and not a striker. None of these things individually made the goalkeeper do what he did. Or none of these things made Arsenal foul our goalkeeper. So it's about things objectively. Wendell says, United losing, but midfielders not to blame. So we must experience the wrath of City and Liverpool to realise that we need midfielders and goalkeepers. No, United lost, but the midfielders weren't the ones that allowed Bayern there to let the goal in. So we didn't lose because of them. You can argue that we didn't score because of them. We didn't score a goal because our midfield isn't good enough, but we didn't concede the goal because of Casemiro and Bruno. That's not why we conceded. TK says United don't usually struggle against top clubs. It's the Everton, Spurs, Bees, etc. that we struggle with big time. That's a good point from TK. That is true, which means the next game against Fulham, guys, Fulham, that is going to be telling. The next game against Fulham will be telling. Anyway, guys, let me quickly go through the news before I read more of the comments. Napoli are considering a move for Rasmus Højlund in light of Romelu Lukaku's injury. Manchester United want Højlund to depart. 40 million asking price, but United could yet entertain a loan under the right conditions despite the preference to sell. So 2 weeks ago, we're still talking about Højlund leaving. Listen, there is a chance, people, that every single one of these players, the bomb squad, there's a chance that every single one of them stays at the club. So what I want to do is mentally prepare this chat here for that eventuality. I don't want everyone or anyone to get angry, to destroy your TV, to destroy your laptop, to throw your phone, to crack your screen. Don't give T-Mobile, EE, and all of these guys, man, said the luxury of having to pay them more money, right? So there is an opportunity. There's a chance that these players will all stay. So I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying, breathe in, then breathe out, and just accept that might be an eventuality. Yeah, because I think I'm getting close to that now. I'm getting close to that position. So I'm not gonna lose my mind if it doesn't. I'm still no. That's a lie. I'm being a hypocrite here. I'm lying to you guys. I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind, but I'm gonna try to lose my mind in a, I don't know, quieter way, more measured way. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've said it before. I enjoy these shows, but I'm kind of getting tired talking about outgoings. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a bit tired talking about these players leaving. I'm just like, flipping heck, just leave. I get why you don't. Listen, I always do this. I always do the whole, listen, think like a fan, get the fuck out of my club. Then I'm like, hold on a second. Let me think like Højlund. Let me think like Garnacho. Let me actually put myself in the player's shoes. Why the hell am I leaving to go to any fucking club just so Man United can get some money from me? I won't leave my current employers to go to work for any stupid firm just so they can get, I don't care about them. I care about myself and my future and what's best for me. And that's what these players are doing. That's what you're supposed to do. So as much as I'm getting frustrated about the outgoings, I'm always going to be like, oh, if I was those players, I might be doing something similar. I can't be a hypocrite. But it doesn't make it less frustrating as Man United fans. It doesn't make it less frustrating. We need to get these players out.
The narratives are putting out there. If you want to leave, should you behave like Isak or should you behave like Williams?
All right. I mean, this news that's on the screen is a quite interesting sort of news, I guess. It's painting a narrative. And you know me, I always look forward, or I always pay attention to a narrative that's been formed anywhere. And it says Alexander Isak is trying to force a way out of Newcastle. Manchester United left out Rasmus Højlund, who wants to stay. So the juxtaposition there, right? The two strikers could not have behaved more differently this summer, yet their contrasting cases show clubs are as likely as players to deploy ruthless self-interest when it comes to transfers. And that is why people on this channel, I side with the football club because I'm a Man United fan, right? But I also understand, you guys will get to know me, I'm not much of a capitalist. I don't love massive billionaires and massive billionaire firms who take the piss out of everybody. Man United are in that camp. We support a football club that's a massive club, a massive capitalistic machine that chews you up and spits you out. They don't care about any of these players' future. They don't. They just care about Man United. So who's out there caring about the players' future? Not the fans. Not the fans. Only the players and their agents themselves. So our interest is aligned usually with the club's interest. And often the club's interest, as you can see, is not aligned right now specifically with Højlund's interest or Garnacho's or Sancho's. You know? So I know just a few talking points, I guess, for you guys to mull over. Anyway, let me quickly read the chat before I move on. What happened to AC Milan and Højlund? He's still hanging on and attended the game. We'll see. I think we'll see later on, Eddie, in the week about AC Milan. That seems to have gone quiet, Eddie, if I'm being honest. Wendell says buying there is no goalkeeper. Onana plays like he's injured. Twisted Fate says Arsenal knew it was dodgy to go relook at California's celebration with the team. It was hella sus. Yeah, man. Like, I'm not losing to Arsenal is always painful, guys. It's always painful, man. Thing about Arsenal, after watching that game, I want to know what you guys think. After watching that game, I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league. I really don't. I really don't. If this is what Arsenal are doing, and is it me or Arsenal have become more predictable? The longer Arteta has this squad, this group of players, the worse Arsenal look. They don't look like a good footballing side. They just look like a side that relies on set pieces and crosses in the box. They look very, very predictable, people. I wasn't impressed by Arsenal, and I'm not impressed by Arsenal at all. TK says, our keeper never had control of the ball. I'm more concerned Saliba was able to plow down Cunha from behind and no penalty kick. Yep. TK. Yep. I saw a show online where a former ref said that was a foul. TK, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, narratives around Man United force referees and even VAR to act a fool. We should have had the penalty against Cunha. That was a penalty. And you could argue the goal shouldn't have stood, which means we could have won that game. And that is why I'm like, hold on a second. We lost the game, but everywhere else in all other areas, we were better. And one thing that we've said as a fan base is that we want improvement in the way that we play. We've got a bit of improvement in the way that we play. So can we build on that, people? Ranjit says, I like to think we've shown others how to beat Arsenal and they disintegrate and sack Arteta after epic meltdown times 10. No, Ranjit, you must be the ball. You must be the ball, Ranjit. Listen, Arteta ain't going nowhere. He has cemented himself in the psyche of Arsenal fans. He is part of the furniture, just like Win the dog. Like, those two, they're not going anywhere. Wendell says, Ugarte must choose another career. Is his perfect example of our poor recruitment strategy in the past. Yeah, Wendell, when I watch Ugarte, I'm like, oh, man, why did we... The thing is, this time last year, we still hadn't bought Ugarte. He was the last player in, and we were haggling with Sporting over a fee for Ugarte. And we were going to walk away, but last minute we got him. And Ugarte was supposed to be Casemiro's replacement. Let that sink into you. Ugarte was brought in to do what Casemiro does. But Casemiro starts every game because Ugarte is not good enough. That is what I'm saying. When I say to you guys that we've had money, we've actually spent money, but we spent it badly. This is what I'm talking about. Buy a player for 50 million, have to get rid of him next year. Buy another player for 85 million, have to get rid of him in 2 years' time. Buy Haaland for 72 million, have to get rid of him in 2 years' time. We spend a lot of money on players that we have to get rid of very, very quickly. Poor recruitment. Poor recruitment. So I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, participate. Read the rule games. It's not saying if people blah blah blah. Wendell says rate Ugarte. Rate Ugarte 1 to 10 against Arsenal. Wendell's on Ugarte's neck in the chat. He's on his neck. Ugarte's performance out of 10 was a 3. I'll give it a 3. Rasmus can go to Napoli. Offer Ugarte in the deal. The keeper does not have to be in control. Oh, you guys are talking about the whole control thing in the chat, whether the goalkeeper has to be in control or not, having a debate. You know, when I'm reading out comments, I got to decide whether the comments for me or if the comment is just you guys having a conversation. I'm still getting used to this thing. He's physically tender-footed. Tender-footed. Like me, tender-headed. You know, you got tender head when you got braids and you got them tight braids in, and like, yeah, the braids are tight and it's just painful. Tender-headed. Man is tender-footed. Tender-footed, TK says. I don't disagree with that, but there is two sides to this whole saga for sure. Wendell says the difference is Isak wants to win titles and Rasmus, unfortunately, not good enough for the league. Yeah, I mean, that is one clear difference between the two strikers, Wendell. I agree. Like this, that Pickford or Beckford, not a goal, and the rest would give them reputational calls. Yeah. Reputation's important in football. Narratives are important in football. If you got reputation of being a good goalkeeper and you're fouled, you're going to get a free kick. If you got reputation of not being a great goalkeeper, like our goalkeepers, that you can see what happens. And that's why I always try to tackle narratives. When you see narratives being built up and being formed, they stick in your head. So anyway, before we move on to quickly to the next news, I want to bring this to your attention. Let me see if it's changed in the... I want to bring this to your attention. Everybody pay attention right now. Right now. I want to fill you guys with some optimism. I want to fill you with some helium so you go into the sky, right? We need to reach the sky together. TK don't like the confidence, but we can gas each other out right now. Foreshadowing. Yeah? Foreshadowing. The last time we lost 1-0 on the opening day of the season. Boom. Talk to me, people. Are we going to win the league? Talk to me now. Look at Welbeck there. Danny motherfucking Welbeck. And look at Nanny. Look at Chris Smalling. Don't know. Is this foreshadowing, people? Nah, I'm joking. Jokes aside, like I said, we played decent. And if that is the baseline, people, if the players that haven't got used to each other yet, they still don't know how they play, they're still finding their feet, we're not settled like Arsenal. This Arsenal team is supposed to be the finished article. That Gyökeres is supposed to be the cherry on the top of the cake, the final missing piece for them to win the Premier League. We are nowhere near. We are nowhere near. And we did that. So all I'm saying is, don't gas yourself out. You know, TK says we need to just relax a little bit. But I think we could be optimistic. We can be positive. Twisted Fate says it's hopium and copium. It's too much hopium and copiums. I went too far with that one. Too much. But it's a fact, though. It's a fact that the last time we lost in the opening game of the season, 1-0, we went on to achieve this, people. So anyway, let's move on. Let's finish off, people. Yeah, another quick transfer updates. I know a lot of people don't like Jadon, and it's a very touchy subject, but it's not happening. It looks like the Roma deal is not happening. There's no agreement with Jadon on the personal terms. Jadon's not going to agree personal terms with anybody at this stage, unless they're going to match his wages, and nobody's going to match his wages. So of all the players, I think Jadon will definitely just see out his contract one last year, maybe go out and loan somewhere. We pay half his wages, or stay and rot in the reserves. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't care anymore. I don't. I've done the whole think like a player, think like a fan. Be in the player's shoes, be in the fan's shoes, and try to provide the chat with a rounded picture rather than just a biased fan view. But with this stuff, you're not gonna get 250 grand anywhere else ever again in your life, and I think Jadon knows this. So he's gonna milk this salary for the last year and then find a club next year. Let's move on. Good luck. He's not going to be part. If he stays, he's not going to be part of the squad. He's not going to be selected for the team. None of that. So if he wants to waste another year of his career, let him do that. Let him do that. What else can we do as a fan base? We've asked him to leave. He's not leaving. Good luck, bro. Good luck in your career, and good luck as a footballer. That's the only thing else I've got to say about Sancho. I can't blame him for not taking a pay cut, but even after he leaves United, he's going to have to take a pay cut. Yeah. It's either you take a pay cut now or next year. And you've been receiving this salary for the last 3 years, so haven't you stacked enough, bro? Haven't you, like I said, I'm now at the same place with all of these guys. I'm trying to understand, like, from a human standpoint, why they're not going to do certain things. And yeah, I get it. But come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, enough's enough, man. You don't even like Manchester United, bro. You don't like the club. Leave it. Just leave. I don't understand. But anyway, let's move on from Sancho. A fan yesterday has asked David Ornstein about the possibility of United signing Carlos Baleba or any other midfielder in the coming days. And look what he had to say. Let's play it, I guess. Should we play it? No? All right. We're allowed to play it.
Not coming, unlikely.
They're not planning to do it this summer.
Damn. So we're going to go for
But maybe in the future.
Who we get?
I don't know why I'm playing it for you guys anyway, to be honest. But it's just him saying, no, it's not happening. Baleba, it's not happening. And I think we all have come to that realization. We are all, I guess, comfortable now. I wouldn't say comfortable. That's not the right word. But we've all just come to the realization that we're not going to get Baleba, as it seems, because Brighton do not want to sell this summer. News is that we're now looking at Adam Wharton. I don't believe we're going to get Adam Wharton this summer either. So I don't know what midfielder we're going to get in this summer. I don't. If you guys know, let me know. If I get any news, if I'm told anything, sometimes I'm told certain things. I was told that we're in for Baleba and that there was a good enough chance that we could get him. We didn't get him. But if you guys know anything, let me know. But I don't think we're gonna get Bleber or Adam Wharton this summer at all, people. Anyway, just to finish off the news, guys, Inter Milan are interested in re-signing Andre Onana, and that's coming from the Sun Football. I'm reporting this to you because it's out there in the space. However, as you can see, the source is the Sun Football. I don't know about the Sun. I really don't know. They are proper clickbaity. The news is never really certain. It's not certified from coming from the Sun. So take this with a pinch of salt. Personally, people, I do not believe Onana or Bayindir are going anywhere. I really don't. The goalkeeping situation, guys, is a problem. It is a problem. And we need to sort it out. We desperately need another goalkeeper. I do not want a flashy goalkeeper. I don't even want Martinez and Donnarumma. What I want is closer to a Van der Sar. I want somebody who's not going to do mad stuff, who's not going to be the talking point. I want a goalkeeper that goes under the radar, a goalkeeper that you don't really talk about. Yes, he's going to pull out saves when he needs to save them, but he's just steady. Just steady. Just come for the corners when you need to come for the corners. Do your goal kicks. Pass the ball up from the back. Just somebody who's not going to be a bozo. Yes, all goalkeepers make errors. Every single one of them make errors. And whatever goalkeeper we bring in, he will also make errors, which means we have to score goals. If we score goals, then goalkeeping errors become less of an issue. So we still need to score goals. However, I just want a steady Eddie. Nope. Listen, Eddie Blacks in the chat. I need a steady Eddie. That's what I need, bro. No one flashy. Not a goalkeeper that saves loads. I just want somebody who gives me a 7 out of 10 every game. Steady. A Van der Sar. Give me someone like that and I'm happy. Wendell says, fly him to Milan now, immediately, like in yesterday. Bro, if I could, I would. I would, man. All right. Last bit of news, people, because Eddie in the chat mentioned this, we're going to have a look at what's going on with Eddie. Not with Eddie. Eddie says, Lemens is your guy. Yeah, man. I don't want my goalkeeper to be in the center of attention, bro. I need my goalkeeper to be under the radar. Do your job, save the shots, and just be normal, man. Like, I don't need a Donnarumma. I don't need a Emi Martinez, bro. Those goalkeepers are gonna do madnesses. Like, they're gonna come out their goal. They're gonna get red cards. I don't need any of that, man. I need a boring goalkeeper. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, for you, Eddie, Ben Jacobs, your favorite guy, bro. Ben Jacobs. Breaking: Yohan Wissa has unfollowed Brentford. Changed his profile picture to black. I don't know why I'm laughing. And removed all club photos from his Instagram account as he looks to leave the club. Oh my gosh. This is the definition, guys, of erasing history, bro. Man's like, listen, I never played for Brentford. Man's indeed I never played for Brentford. Brent who? Brent what? Wissa's move to Newcastle is currently being blocked by Brentford, as exclusively revealed earlier with Alex Crook. The 28-year-old is unhappy Brentford won't now engage over a sale unless 60 million. Nah, Brentford are taking liberties. I never knew they were demanding. I thought Wissa was like 40 M's they were asking for. No. All right, let's read on. 60 million valuation is met despite informing Wissa a few weeks ago they would entertain a sell. Oh, they lied to him and they increased that's what they did with Mbumo. They started with, we want the same as Cunha, which is 62 M's. Then they said, we want more than what you paid for Cunha. So I'm like, hold on. And they kept trying to increase the fee and they're doing the same thing again. They probably started with about 40 million euros and they kept going up and now it's 60 million pounds. But maybe they're seeing the transfer market. They're seeing the striker market. The striker market is absolutely horrendous. It is shit. It is bullock-a-doo-doo. And you got Watkins for 60 M's. So they're probably looking at Watkins for 60 M's and Wisa. Wisa should be 60 M's. I don't know what you guys are saying about this. Talk to me. Wisa was also told a year ago that he could leave for 26 million after committing to last season for now Brentford are taking the piss following Ivan Toney's departure to Al Ahly. Brentford insists Dango Otara is a Brian Mbumo replacement, and for a Wisa exit to happen, another forward must be added as well as their valuation met. Oh, guys, this is a mess. This is a mess, bro. This is a mess. Yeah, I don't know what players are going to do now. Players are going to run down their contracts more. Players are going to hand in transfer requests a lot more. Excuse me. Players are going to have to start being a bit dirty, because we as fans, we like to say things like player power, right? And I want to remind you guys in the chat what you're talking about. When you're talking about player power, you're talking about employees. Sometimes as fans, yeah, we do the bidding of the conglomerates, right? We talk about player power and we say things like players shouldn't have power, i.e. employees, i.e. workers shouldn't have power, and the owners, the CEOs should have more power. And I'm always like, I understand why we say this in the context of football, because we are football fans, and a lot of there's a conflict of interest because we want what the owners want, i.e. the club to be successful, and we don't really care about the individual player. But let's not fully give all of these money-hungry big businesses all the power over footballers and take all the power away from the employees. Let's not encourage that thing. And I think these situations where clubs are taking the piss, bro, like they're promised this man that he's going to leave. They said he's going to leave for this amount of fee. They're changing their minds. Like, that's why sometimes I stick up for players. I said, listen, when the clubs are ready, when the massive football club is ready, they will destroy destroy a player's future, not allow them to leave, do stuff, send information to the media to form a narrative around the player. All these things, all these dirty things that a club will do to destroy a footballer. Sometimes I'm like, I can see it sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I feel sorry for the footballer. Not every day, guys, yeah, we should be siding with these football clubs, is what I'm trying to say. Not every day. Not every day we should side with the owners. Not every day we should side with the owners of assets and the capitalists. Sometimes side with the little guy. Sometimes we should side with the little player, the employees, because we are employees ourselves, you know? But yeah, that's a very strange situation that's going on with Wisa, man. Very strange. Very, very strange. Eddie says Brentford are going to need to sell or they will lose out on a good deal. I agree, Eddie. Suspect in the chat. Big up Suspect. Probably missed the United section, but wanted to say big up the United performance. Played well and deserved something from the game. Big up Suspect. I know you're an Arsenal fan. We spoke about Arsenal kind of throughout the stream, really, and spoke about the fact that we weren't really impressed with Arsenal's performance. Suspect. Gyökeres wasn't great. I think De Ligt managed Gyökeres very well. In fact, I think the midfield for us worked really well. And even though you guys play with a 3-man midfield and we play with a 2-man midfield, I think the fact that we played with 3 10s and the 10s that we played with are very comfortable, Cunha, Mount and Mbumo, in dropping in midfield. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw the 10s drop in midfield and overload the middle of that area, which means Arsenal didn't get a lot of joy in the midfield. And on the wings, we play with wing backs, which means Saka and Martinelli were doubled up on often. We managed Arsenal very well yesterday. People will say that Arsenal didn't play their game, and yes, they didn't play their game, but largely because of our system and the way that we played. What didn't help us was the same thing that helped us. Playing three midfielders helped us in the middle of the park, but it did not help us going forward. So it was the cure and the cause, as I always say. Every system has a weakness, and our system, the system that we deployed, clearly does. So I don't think Arsenal are going to do anything this season in the Premier League, suspect. I really don't, bro. But big up yourself. Thanks for jumping in the chat. I always appreciate you jumping in, bro. But let me know, suspect. You're an Arsenal fan. Let me know what you thought of the performance and where you think Arsenal are going to finish, bro. That's my perspective. Your perspective might be completely different to mine. TK says Wisa plays hardball with bees, yet Baleba is playing another season for Seagulls. Interesting. TK, you make a good point. Good point. Ranjit says he should have got it in writing. Yeah, Ranjit. You guys, we're hearing a lot about these gentlemen agreements, right? We're hearing a lot about these gentlemen's agreement. Bro, they're not gentlemen. They're not. Money is the gentleman here. Money is the only thing that talks. Yes, I agree for you to leave for 40 M's. Sure. And then next season comes up and then there's 5 clubs in for you. Bro, give me 80 M's. And then you'll go, oh, I thought you said you're going to let me leave for 40 M's. Did I? Well, things have changed. I didn't anticipate the market to be what it is right now. Whatever I promised to you last year was based on the information I had last year. Everything has changed. The context is now different. The information, the data I now have is informing me that you're now worth 80 million. Either I get the 80 million for you or you shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and you ain't going nowhere. What is a gentleman's agreement? What the hell? What the hell is that? I still feel United must try and persuade Brighton to sell Baleba. He's a difference between a Champions League spot and ended up 8th. I'm worried about the midfield and keeper situation. If a player wants to leave, let him go. I wouldn't be surprised, even though it's unlikely, people. I wouldn't be surprised if United go in, yeah. If we do get the sales that we want, go in for a cheeky Baleba bid. Let's just, I know we're not in for him, and I know everyone, you know, they brief the journalists, say we're not going to get the player and all these things, but I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised. Suspect says stinky Arsenal performance was very disappointing, but I've seen Arsenal boo United off the park at Old Trafford and leave empty-handed. I'm never going to be upset with 3 points or bop. Yeah, good point. Good point. You've seen Arsenal come to you, Old Trafford, bop us off the park and not win. So it's good in your perspective to come to Old Trafford, not play that well, and still take the 3 points. And I guess from your perspective, suspect, is that a championship winning team then? Because obviously I said Arsenal haven't played well, but the fact that you came to Old Trafford, not play well, and still win, I guess you can look at that as an Arsenal fan positively, because that's what champions do, right? So I understand that perspective, bro. I understand why you're saying that. He says, I think Arsenal's going to get it over the line this year. Defense wins championships. Interesting from an Arsenal fan. I agree defense wins championships. You guys have had arguably the best defense for the last 2 seasons, but it's your attack that haven't been able to get you over the line. So are you saying that you believe now that you've got Gyökeres, that's the missing piece? Because a lot of Arsenal fans are not willing to say it with their chest that they're going to win the league. And it seems to me that you're coming with your chest and you're saying, yeah, this time we're going to get it over the line. So we'll see, bro. We will see. We will see. Anyway, Mateus Cunha out with his son at Old Trafford. That's some good, positive, feel-good stuff for you guys. Also, before we leave, before we go, some stats from Lenny Euro absolutely amazing footballer. I can't sing Lenny Euro's praises anymore. 100% of aerial duels won. Every time his feet left the ground, he won the ball. Imagine that. Imagine every time your feet leaves the ground, you're winning the ball. Isn't that insane? 91% pass accuracy, 61 passes completed, 12 defensive actions. I mean, I need context. I need not just objective numbers. I need the numbers to be qualitative, not just quantitative. But because 61 passes completed, the person next to him is going to complete 150. So, you know what I'm saying? But either way, still good stuff. 61 passes completed, 12 defensive actions, 6 clearances, 5 out of 5 aerial duels won, 4 interceptions. Listen, I can't talk about this guy enough. £60 million, I think in the next couple of years, he's going to be worth £100 million. He's only 19 years old, people. 19. I know age isn't everything, bro, but he's a very, very good footballer. Another quick update for you before we go. Ruben Amorim view the bench as a decisive factor this season. I don't think Ruben Amorim used the bench that well last season. I don't think he affected games as much. Whether that was because his defense was really basic. He didn't have a good defense anyway. But he needs to use his defense more. He has urged his players to abandon the culture of frustration that emerged under Ten Hag, when those omitted from the lineup were often left delusioned. Amorim has warned that sulking would not be tolerated. Wow, this is interesting. Instead, he wants substitutes to see themselves as game changers and embrace the responsibility of being the difference when called upon. Thank you. Thank you, Amorim. I'm not always your favorite or your best fan. I do criticize Amorim a lot, but this is the mentality shift that is needed. You know, when Solskjaer and like Sheringham used to just come off the bench, they were excited to come off the bench because one, they felt part of the team even though they were on the bench. They are part of the squad even though they were on the bench, and they didn't feel any less. Every player played for a reason. You played Cole because the defenders were gonna, play with a high line. We had the strikers for every single game. So you still felt part of the team even though you're on the bench. And not only that, we know stories of Sheringham and Solskjaer watching the game. If you're on the bench, it's good for you to watch the game, understand what the game needs, understand how you can change the game. So when you do come on, you can be effective. I like this approach from Amorim. It makes sense. Stop sulking if you're on the bench. See this as an opportunity to potentially come on and affect the game. I like that. Well done, Amorim, for that. Then that's most of the news, guys. That is most of the news. So, decent show today. Smash the likes if you can, people, on your way in. Big up everybody. Big up everyone in the chat. It's been a good show. We've spoken about a lot with regards to the game yesterday. Listen, like I keep saying, there is room for optimism after yesterday's result. There is. Saka completed one of his 6 dribbles against Man United, the second lowest completion rate in his career. See that? Credit to Patrick Dorgu. And I've always said a lot of people, even now, are still not giving Patrick Dorgu, for me, the credit he deserves. But I think that left-hand side now might be locked off. The way that Dorgu is not somebody who lets people run past him. For you to beat Dorgu one-on-one, you're going to have to be very good. Dorgu is a physical specimen. And he and Luke Shaw completely locked off that side. So well done, Dorgu, for that. Here we go, people. This is it, people. Now, like I said before, it's interesting how I think Man United gassed us up with Baleba. Yeah. Before they released this. Gassed me up, convinced me to buy this, only to lose against Arsenal. I have not bought a Man United shirt in maybe 10 years. Literally. So let me know, people, if you've got your black kit. Because I was honest on the stream when I said that I was going to get this kit. I did say I was going to get this kit. Oh, shit. Oh, shitty. Oh, shit. Man United. Man United. It kind of looks blue, but it's not blue. It's black, but it's got that blue kind of, I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know. I don't know, people. It looks sick. All right. Yeah, this Aeon shirt was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I bought this Aeon shirt. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, shit. Okay. This looks wavy. Nah, people. Nah, people. Oh my gosh. What are you saying? I have to wear this every stream. Every stream I gotta wear it. Okay, people. What are you saying, people? Live in the flesh. What are you saying, people, about the kit? So I think TK said he was gonna get the kit as well. TK, have you got it? No, TK. This will not be worn. But you said you're gonna get. Where's your shirt, TK? Have you got your shirt, bro? Because you gassed me up as well for getting the shirt, you know. Nah, get away. Get away. But I ain't gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna have to put this on still. I'm gonna have to put it on still. I'm gonna have to put this shit on. Ah. I'm gonna have to put this shirt on, bro. What are you saying to me? Oi, you mad? Oi. Okay. Oh shit. Oi. Don't piss me off, bro. Don't piss me off. Oh shit. All right. Nah. No. No, it looks dope still. Nah, I feel like I can just stand up. Nah, it's dope. And the material feels good as well. I was thinking of getting a long sleeve one. I think you said to get the long sleeve one. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, man's got big arms out here, bruv. Like, man, I need to show my arms out here. Man can't be getting a long sleeve shirt to hide my arms, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man can't, you know what I'm saying? TK said you get man on wet, bro. Bro, TK, what are you saying to me? You mad? No, it's wavy. It's wavy. Look at my samurai sword as well. My samurai sword. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a nice shirt, bro. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So yeah, got my shirt, got my smile on, feeling good for the season. Big up the chat. Big up everybody. Wendell, TK, Ranjit. Obviously, Suspect jumped in the chat. Big up Suspect. British Bulldog. Yeah, man. Big up everybody, bro. Santas, Twisted Fate, Shivam. Make sure you guys smash the like as usual, bro. Also, you guys have been doing something really, really well. You guys have been returning back to the live streams or the streams in general and leaving some comments, and that's helped, bro. That's really helped the channel a lot. We've gone from, I don't know, 470 to 400, I think 87 now. So we're very, very close to 500. And some of you guys knew where we started literally a month ago with, like, I don't know, was it 300 or something? I'm not quite sure, but to be approaching 500 subscribers, I'm a little guy, a little channel. So we have to take these small wins and be excited and be very, very happy. So thank you to the chat as always. I'm going to be wearing my kit a lot, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you might be seeing me in this top almost every stream, bro. I'm not dirty. Don't get it twisted. I only wear it literally for the stream and I'll take it off. I won't sleep in the top on that. It's not that deep, but this feels good, guys. This feels good. So yeah, TK says 13 away from 500. Just 13 people. Just 13 friends to share the video. The tactical analysis will be up hopefully in a few hours as well, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, people, it's been a lively show, good show, and I'll see you guys, I think, next time, unless there's anything else topical. I think we are out here. Big up yourselves. Remember, it's easier to love than it is to hate. Your boy is out of there, man. See you tomorrow.